How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to our very first Altered TCG booster box opening here on the channel. I'm actually really excited for this. This is one of my own personal Kickstarter boxes. I actually backed this game on Kickstarter, which is it's a much more rare thing for me these days. I really only back Kickstarters that I'm like, you know, truly 100% believe in, and even if the games don't go anywhere, I'll be happy, you know, treating them kind of like a board game type thing. And I actually really like Altered. I like what they're doing. We'll talk about that as we open up these packs and get into it. So we're gonna actually be opening 2 of these boxes today. It's gonna be a lot of fun, hoping for that gold pack or maybe some promos or any other cool stuff in here, because this game is really unique and I think definitely worth paying attention to. So without further ado, let's open up these boxes and start talking about Altered. Let's do it. It's got that new TCG smell. Let's open these up. So I will mention that these are not the first ones that I personally opened. These are actually boxes 3 and 4, and I just realized I forgot my box cutter. We're just gonna use the old nails here. Yep, there we go. So I actually got 4 boxes for my Kickstarter pledge. My Kickstarter pledge wasn't super huge. It's actually pretty close to the size of my Kickstarter pledge for Warlord, which is 4 boxes plus some starter decks, and I got the big playmat. And I just wanted to try the game out. It looked interesting enough to me, and it's doing some incredibly unique things in the TCG industry, and it has like this definite, like, I don't know, like this more chill, positive vibe, which I actually really like. In the 2 boxes that I opened off screen, we did get one of the promo cards, which is like a 1 in every 100 packs, which is pretty cool. And I just kind of got a taste of how this game opens as an experience. And it's honestly really good. Compared to some other games that I've, you know, opened on the channel, this game is really fun to open. One of the first things I want to mention is that every single booster pack of the Kickstarter edition has a foil hero, which is awesome. There are 3 heroes per faction. There are 6 factions, and I found opening 2 boxes, you get at least one of all the heroes in foil. You're also going to notice this QR code down here. I've already scanned every single card in this video by the time this goes live, so don't bother trying to scan the cards. But that's one of the cool selling features of this game is this QR code system, and which means that you can scan this into their app, and then you have digital ownership of these cards. It's not NFTs or anything like that. Think of it more like Light Seekers or Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions, where you scan the cards in and then you have digital versions in the app. And then you can use those in their digital client when that becomes a thing. You will register your deck lists in competitive events when that becomes a thing, and so it makes it all easier. But the best part is that you can print out more copies of that card that you own, so you can play with. So you have digital ownership of it. The physical ownership doesn't matter as much. By the way, here's the card back. It looks really very in my opinion. Very Runeterra-y, I think, but I still think it looks very nice. Yeah. Oh, and I also mentioned new card game. Cardstock is really good. We can do like what I like to call like the deck test. When we open up a whole bunch more, we have a big pile. Just have them in a pile and kind of like see how they feel in your hand, but very nice. And so, yeah, so you can print out the cards as many times as you want. You can even make decks for your friends and give the cards to your friends. However, only the owner of the actual digital version of the cards will be able to use them in any sanctioned tournaments. So you can print out a deck for your friend, but they can't use it in a tournament unless they own the cards digitally. Okay, so now that we've kind of gone over a lot of the bases here, these are some common cards. Basically, you can tell because they have this black border. Every single card in this game, for the most part, comes in a couple different variants. You have common cards, and then you have rare versions of the same common cards with better abilities. So here is a rare. This is Sun Wukong. You can tell because it is a full art card. Also has a little R down here. And he has better abilities, right? And there's a balancing thing for this deck. Here's Loki. There's a balancing in deck building in that you can only have 15 rare cards in your deck and only 3 unique cards in your deck. And we'll talk about uniques once we pull one. Here's a Monolith Archivist. Okay, well, here we go. We have a unique card. Oh, and a unique foiler. This pack is sick. This pack is actually really, really sick. Okay, so this card right here, the Monolith Archivist. It is a rare card, but it's also has an F right here, which means it is a faction-shifted card. So this is an Izmir faction card, but it's normally the blue faction. I think it's called Ordos or something like that. So you can get like different versions. So each card technically has like 3 versions. There's the regular version, the rare version, and then a faction-shifted. And then you might be able to pull a unique version of the card. And a unique version of the card is exactly that. You can tell it's unique because it has this gold nameplate at the top. Also, it has a little U down here. But unique cards are exactly that. They are procedurally generated cards that are one of a kind, unique. No other person has this exact card in the entire world. And they have, the algorithm is such that the cards are going to be powerful but not broken. They have like certain parameters and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really, really fascinating. And once again, this is balanced in that you can only have 3 uniques in your deck. So you can only have 15 rares, 3 uniques, 40 card deck, or 39 card deck plus your hero. So here's our unique. This is Yongsu Verdant Weaver, character druid. This one says, so this cost here is the cost that it costs to play from your hand. This is the cost that it costs to play from your reserve, which is kind of like your second hand. And then these are the stats. And in this game, you don't fight your opponent, you race your opponent through obstacles and terrain, which I think is super fascinating. So he has a 2 forest, 2 mountain, and 4 water, and that's how good he is in those terrain. And he says, this little ability means you do this effect if you play it from your reserve, so like your second hand. If you have 3 or more base statistics of 0 among characters you control, you may discard target permanent. Ooh, discard target permanent. So you just kind of like kill something if you have 3 or more base statistics of 0. Interesting. Interesting. I'm not super great at this game. I'm still very new. I have actually not played at all yet. So we're going to fix that shortly. But now that I got my product, but yeah, take my card evaluation as it is. And the next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less. Ooh, interesting. And then this foiler, I'm sorry, this first pack is going to take a little while to get through. We'll go much quicker after this. I just wanted to explain everything. This foiler is really cool in that because you can print the cards that you have digital ownership of, you can print them foil if you can make them foil with one of the foiler cards. So we got this guy, non-foil, but if we wanted to make him foil, well, we scan this unique foiler in, and then we could use our unique foiler on this card, and then when we print another version of him from Equinox, the makers of Altered, they print us a foil version. It's super cool. I really like this kind of stuff. And I think these are fairly hard to get. I'll put it up here just to show. You get a lot of foilers, but the unique foilers are pretty hard to get. I've gotten 3 in one box and 2 in another box, and I've heard it's usually about 1 to 3. Afanas and Sanka, this is one of the Izmir heroes. I really like Izmir. They're one of my favorites for sure. And we're going to go through the common cards pretty quickly, but God, the art is really, really good. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's definitely a different take than what I normally cover. I typically cover like anime style stuff here, but I still like this almost like pseudo anime style. Here, actually, let's put the rares separately. Put the commons over here. It's like the pseudo anime style, like very Riot Games-esque. Monolith Rune Scribe, that's a faction shifted card. We have a Spindle Harvesters, Kakoba Legion Commander, and then this Ortus Recruit token. You can tell it's a token, first of all, because it has a different card back, right? But the card stock is, it's worse. The card stock for the tokens is worse. The card stock for the actual cards is very, very nice. And I think that's probably one of the ways they, saved a little bit of money, not having the card stock of the tokens be like very expensive. Though the tokens do have the QR codes, which I think is funny. Oh, this is one of my favorite heroes. Rin and Orchid, or maybe Reen and Orchid. Very, 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 very pretty. That is the Muna faction. I think they're one of my favorite factions. I'm not entirely sure yet. I really like the Izmir, by the way, Kappa. Axiom Reprocessor. I like the Axiom too. I mean, I really like a lot of them, to be completely honest. This is Bravos, which they're kind of like the sporty, aggressive type one. But Dorothy Gale. So here's some of the interaction, or not interaction, but some of the lore. So basically the lore of this world is some stuff happened, and the boundaries between the fictional characters and fantasy have merged with like real world stuff. So here's a rare Frog Prince, mechanical training, and then we have, ooh, Grand Endeavor. This is a rare. It just says, at noon, target expedition moves forward 1 region, and it also has tough 2. And there's a common foiler. Put that in the foiler pile. And the common foiler does exactly what you think it does. It foils out 1 common for you. We have Teja and Nara. This is another card that I really like. Very, very simple card. The first character you play each afternoon, which is like each of your main phases, gains 1 boost, which means it gets like a permanent +1/+1. Here's the common version of Sun Wukong. So here, to better illustrate it, let me show you what I mean. So here's the common version of Sun Wukong. 3 cost, 4 cost, 2/4/2. And then if you play it from your reserve, he gets 2 boosts, right? So pretty good. So when you play it for 4, he is a 4/6/4. Very strong. Here's the rare version of Sun Wukong. 3, 4, 2/4/2. And then he also says when you play him from reserve, he gains 2 boosts and loses fleeting, which is really, really good, which means he'll come back, which is great. And so it's essentially the same card, except now this one loses fleeting when you play it from your reserve. This one doesn't. So yeah, strictly better version, but once again, the game is balanced in such a way that you can only have 15 rare cards in your deck, so you have to kind of like pick and choose which ones are going to be the most optimal for you to use, which is really cool. Inari, good. Fox's Banishing Gate is a sweet removal card. Once again, I don't know a ton, but I know a little bit. Haven Bouncer, it's my job to know a little bit. Yongsu Verdant Weaver. So this is a different version. This is the regular version of the unique we got. So as you can see, the costs are different, his powers are different, and the effect is different. Yeah, so the unique is truly, truly unique. It's really, really sweet. And then also the art is a little bit different as well. And that's true across common, rare, and unique. The art will be different. It's like they're leveling up. Oh, here we have another unique. Jian, Assembly Overseer Character Engineer. He's a 3 cost, 2/3/0. When this card leaves your reserve during the afternoon, target character gains 1 boost, and then you can play it from your reserve or use this ability from your reserve. You may activate the enter triggers of target permanent you control. Ooh, interesting, okay. The uniques are the most exciting part about opening these because they're unique. No one has any other versions of them. So they might suck, they might be really good. Generally speaking, they're pretty good. Here's Auroch and Kibble. Yeah. So here's Ratatosker. Anyway, let's continue on. Ooh, Thoth. So yeah, there's definitely some like mythology type stuff. Here's a Son of Yggdrasil. That's a faction shifted. Here we got Tinkerbell. I think this is also faction shifted. Tooth Fairy, also faction shifted. We've got 3 faction shifted cards. And then the Ordis Carrier. And then a Brass Bug token. And as we go on, we'll go much, much quicker. We got 2 boxes to get through. There are 37 booster packs per booster box of the Kickstarter version. Nevenka and Blotch. I know a lot of people are going to really like this character because she definitely gives off some like Jinx, Harley Quinn type vibes for sure. Copilia, really cool card. Ooh, Shenlong. Shenlong is a big dude, 6'6", 8'8", like 8 across the board. Just a big old chungus. We have Atlas. He's gigantic. We got Harvest, Coniferil, Coneman, and then we have an Armored Jammer. So, ooh, rare foiler, nice. So one of the other cool things about the Kickstarter version is, well, you get an extra booster pack. Normal booster box is going to have 36, I believe. The extra pack for the Kickstarter version is one of the stretch goals. This card is really, really strong. Sigismar and Wingspan is a fantastic hero. From what I understand, one of the easiest heroes to play. I love how they have a resource or energy called Kellon, and my name is Kellen. Literally, this is my name if you put an extra L and then replace the 0 or the O with an A. That's my name. Quetzalcoatl. We have All In. I'm all in. Ooh, got a rare faction shifted Kappa. Daughter of Yggdrasil. I think this card's pretty sweet, actually. It's a 3-drop, but it has big stats, and each player draws a card. I got a unique version of this that's pretty cool. Ada Lovelace. I got a unique Ada Lovelace also that I think is pretty cool. Brass Bug. And so I found in my boxes we get about 6 uniques per box. We'll see if that changes for this. Oh, this is another one of my favorite heroes. Akesha and Taru. She's the Izmir starter deck hero. And I really like her. She basically forces your opponent to take an action. It's the kind of game where you back and forth take actions, but if one player passes, I'm putting this in the wrong pile. If one player passes, then they can't play anything else for the rest of the turn, and so you can basically like skip your turn, but still play later, which is really useful because you can see what your opponent plays and then react to it. Here we have 3 Little Pigs, Mana Reaping, Physical Training, Gift of Self. There's a bunch of cards in here I've never seen before. Ozma, and then a Brass Bug. Ozma of Oz. So yeah, at least for the first set, you do see a lot of like pop culture or real world references, such as Ozma from Wizard of Oz. And we also see stuff like Mulan, Traced, and Rossum. And if you didn't know, Mulan is a real person, or at least a story of a real person, or something to that effect. It's not just Disney is what I'm trying to get at. Izmir Stargazer, Ortis Cadets, Ganesh, obviously. We have the Hatter, Mad maybe, perhaps. We have Ortis Gatekeeper, faction shifted, another Gift of Self, and then a Studious Disciple. And so what I've been doing is I've been separating all of my uniques for sure. And since I'm opening 4 boxes, it feels like I'll probably get most of the rares. Oh, I keep saying this. This is another one of my favorites. Basira and Kaizaimon. There's a few, like I said, there's 3 heroes for every single faction. And there's some that, personally speaking, that I'm drawn to. So like these ones are ones that immediately I'm like, okay, I kind of want to build around them. There's another one. This is more of a boost aggro style, which fits my like red deck wins kind of tendencies. These are big old Sky Whale. Yeah, and another thing that I find really interesting is the fact that a lot of the cards, if not all of them, come in a common version. But you also can get a rare version, you can get the unique versions. I don't know, it's just fascinating. I think deck building is going to be really, really fun and interesting. Oh, here we go. We got another unique. This is Ogun, 3-cost, 2-cost character, engineered deity. He's a 1/2/1, but it says you may, on enter, you can pay 1. If you do, plants you control other than me gain 1 boost, and then he also just gains 1 boost. Okay, this means if you play him from either your hand or if you play him from your reserve, so he gets that ability either way. I think this card's really strong, actually. The 3 might be a little high, but paying 1 to boost all your plants, I guess you'd want to do this on a plant deck, but seems good to me. Pumping your squad, also pumping him. So he's not really a 1/2/1. He's really a 2/3/1. And then he also synergizes with like boost stuff. I don't know. Lindiwi and Ma. I thought of some cool strategies with this one. Just kind of like looking at some of the cards that I pulled in my other 2 boxes. Isan Boshi. It's a rare. We have Amale, Esmeralda, Dracana. This is a character dragon plant. Oh, interesting. Ortis Cadets. You know, it's really cool. I'm seeing a bunch of cards that I didn't see in my first 2 boxes, which is great. My first 2 boxes, between the 2, I got like almost 2 of most of the things. We have Waru and Mac. Dr. Frankenstein, Victor Vaughn, Bravos Blade Dancer, and like the art in this game is quite good. It's got this much more like colorful style vibe, and like I said, I kind of dig it. We have the Mighty Jean, Loki, Ortis Attorney, and then a Dorothy Gale. I think she's also really, really good. She is a 5 cost, 3/2/2, and then when you enter, you can send any character to reserve from both. So like, she basically just helps you remove stuff. She's like almost like a 2-for-1, right? Any of the units that like remove something when you play them, I think are pretty good. And the Izmir are kind of like your control deck. This guy is pretty sweet. Atsadi and Surge. Yeah, pretty cool. Intimidation, poor little dude. Poor little, not Poro dude. Kitsune. Alice of, Alice in Wonderland. She's just kind of like a stat. She's got stats. Boom! We have Cloth Cocoon, Baba's Ispa, and Anubis. 5/5, 3/4/3. I think this is faction shifted. Yeah, faction shifted. And on enter, each player sacrifices a character. Ooh, interesting. I think Anubis could be really, really good in Izmir, especially in the deck. Like one of these summons her. Yeah, she summons a Ma, which is 0/0/0. But you can summon the Ma and then play something like Anubis and then sack it, so you don't have to sacrifice something more powerful. It's obviously good in the other token generator style decks, especially the ones that like give you a token every single turn. Yeah, and as you can see, all of the cards, all of the heroes that we pull are, here's Mulan, are foil, and then we have the opportunity to get a unique foil, but then most of them are just going to be the foilers here, which I think is pretty cool. It lets you get the foils exactly that you want. Brassbug Hub, Mana Convergence. This is just a draft card. Because in this game, it's very similar to the World of Warcraft TCG, actually, or Dragoborn, in that, I guess even also a more, contemporary one, even though it's a game that I don't really play, is it's like Lorcana, I guess you could say, in that every card you can play face down. I know Lorcana has to be inkable or whatever, but you can play any card face down as a resource in this game. Ooh, Joan of Arc. Jeanne d'Arc. She's a 5/5, 3/3/3. When I leave the expedition zone. Oh, this one's a faction shifted one. I think she's normally Ordos, maybe? Hathor, Verdant-back, and then Ma. So that's the token for the Izmir one that I showed off earlier. But yeah, I'm actually eager to play. Different kind of style. Like I said, it's like a race. Ooh, Sierra and Oddball. I got a promo of this, which is like a full art, which is really nice. That's another one of the starter deck. Ooh, Tomoe Gozen. That's another one of the starter deck heroes. I'm putting these in the wrong pile again. I'll fix it in a second. We have a Haven Warrior, All In. We're getting a lot of All Ins, and an Athena. Ooh, nice, rare Athena, and then a Ma token. I've seen some people pull some like really sweet, unique Athenas. I think the secondary market for this game is going to be really, really interesting with all of the uniques kind of floating around, and they're baking that market into the digital app, right? So how it's going to work is that you basically will buy the digital rights to the card, and then instead of having the person ship you the card, you just have Altered print you the card, and then they ship you the card, which I think is really cool. So you just buy it, the digital rights, and then you get it shipped to you. And then the original owner, they get to keep their physical version of the card, but that's fine because they can't use it in tournaments anyway, right? You have to have the digital ownership of it. So like, if you're someone who like, you open a card that's really cool and you kind of like cherish it, and you're like, oh, this card's sweet. Well, then you get to kind of keep it and sell it at the same time. You won't be able to play it in tournaments, of course, but you still have that actual copy of the card that you opened, which I think is cool. I don't know. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of unique things going on here. We have Tinkerbell. I love how her name's a pun in this. Izmir Stargazer, faction shifted. Lyra Scald, and then our rare foiler. Yeah, so game is cool. I'm really curious to see what y'all think. Here's another Sierra and Oddball. Like I said, in these Kickstarter boxes, you're going to be getting a lot of the heroes. Hey, here's the regular version of Yongsu Verdant Weaver. Turns out he's originally from Muna, that faction. But yeah, really curious to hear what all y'all think. We have Tiny Jean, Inari, Kadigirin Mage Dancer. Oh, another unique. Here we go. Kellon Elemental. Hey, it's a me Elemental. Kellon Elemental. 2-drop, 2/4/1. Pretty good. It says you can put a card from your hand in reserve, and so when you play, you can put a card from your hand in reserve. And if you play it from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, each player may resupply, which means you take the top card of your deck and then you put it in reserve. Interesting. This card is interesting. I'm not sure how to evaluate that. Seems like a fairly like value type engine. Gets you a lot of value, or perhaps if you want to play stuff specifically from reserve because they have the different costs being played from reserve. This little shroom, Sneezer Shroom. Yeah, Axiom Salvager. This is a faction shifted. Isen Boshi. Ooh, Tomoe Gozen, one of my favorite cards. She's really big, but you can only play her if you have certain mana orbs. Off you go. This is a great removal card. And then we have a Foundry Mechanic. Yeah. And, you know, as I talk about this game, I'm not 100% sure where I'm personally going to end up with it. We have Fen and Crowbar, like the little Jack Skellington. I think it's cool, and I think it could be the kind of game where I cover like every new set release or something like that. I'm not sure if it's going to be a mainstay on this channel. Who knows? Maybe. Kalonic Generator. Haven Bravos Bastion. Ooh, Mind Apotheosis. Haven Warrior. Istok. I got a lot of rares in that one. Yeah, it's a rare foiler. And so, I'm not sure where it's going to end up being on Red Zone Rogue, but I like it enough. I like what they're doing. I think it's fascinating enough that I'm just going to be following it, you know? I think it's a cool idea. I think it can definitely appeal to a lot of people who don't currently play trading card games, because it does have like this different vibe, man. It's just got this like very positive atmosphere. It's, you know, a competitive game, but you're at the end of the day, you're really racing your opponent. Cool spy. Oh, unique foiler. Let's go. It's 2 for us. And I don't know, it just feels a little less combative, right? It's kind of like a points gathering style game where you try to, you know, have a bigger number than your opponent, essentially. Yeah, so it's a little less directly confrontational. I don't know. I still think it's really, really cool. We have Foundry Armorer. We have a regular version of Ogun Monolith Rune Scribe, and then a common foiler. Yeah. I'm really curious to see how this game does too. There's another really fascinating thing about this game that I was talking to my partner about. This is another one of the starter deck cards, one of the starter deck heroes. And that is that, like, this game is being made by Equinox, which is a French company. Salut mes amis. Je parle un petit peu. Pas beaucoup de français. So I speak a little bit of French, not a lot. I took 7 years of French in school. And anyway, what's fascinating about that is, unlike a lot of other English, you know, released Kickstarter games, this one also has a really big French community just baked into it from the get-go. In fact, I think a lot of the folks over in Europe and France have gotten their cards already. Like, and I literally just got this, like, today, the day of this recording, I literally just got my Kickstarter order. Which is going to be the day before this goes live, because I'm recording this on Tuesday. This is going live on Wednesday, so pretty quick turnaround. And I was just like, you know what, let's do it. So yeah, I think that's interesting that it has like this European, specifically like French player base already like really baked into it, which is not usual for these type of like Kickstarter games, right? A lot of them are like English only. They don't do localization. They're just kind of like these small indie teams, and if they do, it takes a long time. And so I think starting on a global level at the get-go is just kind of like a fascinating thing, in my opinion. Yo, Tomoe goes in again. Faction shifted Kappa. We got Kappa. We got the Foundry, Aloe Vera for your sick burns, for your wicked burns. There's another foiler. I'm gonna cycle the camera real quick because we have been talking for 28 minutes. All right, we need to speed this up. We've been talking for 28 minutes for a single booster box, but I think a lot of the stuff kind of needed to be said, you know. And so at this point, we're just gonna quickly go through the commons, go to the rares, and then we'll go from there. Spycraft, Monolith, Legat. We just got like maybe 9 more packs. We have a lot of packs to get through. Yeah. And so I'm actually interested in building a few different decks. Just the way this game is built, I think it'll be fairly easy to build a couple different decks. Ooh, here's a Achilles. Because it is a faction-specific game. So you cannot mix the factions. That's why faction-shifted cards exist. So if you wanted to do the mixing, you'll have to get a faction-specific version of the card that you want to play, right? So you have this Ogun. So you can see how he has this one, the Muna, and then this one is a Axiom, right? And I think he's originally Axiom. This unique is also faction-shifted. So it's not only is it unique, but it is a different faction for that particular character. Lyra Cloth Dancer, Baku. I think Baku's real good, by the way. Makes your opponents discard cards. It's pretty good. Ooh, rare foiler. I've seen a couple Baku uniques that are like real good. Sigismar and Wingspan. And so what's another cool thing about the uniques is that the way this game works is you can only have 3 uniques in your deck. Ooh, hey, yo, it's the card we spoiled. Flamel. Yo, let's go. Ooh, cool dragon card. So the way that uniques work, okay, here we go. Here's a unique. Well, Amelia Earhart. Ooh, I don't think this other dude was in the art before. So it's a 3/2, 3/3/1. And then whenever you play her, you may sacrifice a character. If you do, up to 1 target character gains a sleep. Oh, interesting. Oh, very interesting. So you can play this and put your opponent's stuff to sleep, or you can play this and put your things to sleep if you need them for another round. Very cool. But what I'm trying to say is, so we have this Amelia Earhart, right? Did we get another Amelia Earhart? Oh man, I don't even know what faction she's normally in. Probably Axiom, if I had to guess, given her vibe. But what I'm trying to say is, you can only have 3 uniques in your deck, right? And since it's a unique card, you can only have 1 copy of it because it's literally a unique card. But you can still have 3 Amelia Earharts in your deck. So you can have the unique, I don't know, maybe it's in the common pile, maybe we haven't pulled a rare one. So you can still have a unique Amelia Earhart, a common Amelia Earhart, and like a rare, for example, or a unique and 2 rares, or whatever. You can have up to 3 of any card with any given name in your deck, is what I'm trying to get at. I wanted to illustrate it with like the pictures of all the stuff, but you know, it is what it is. Twinkle Twinkle, Magical Training, Paper Herald. Yeah, so I think like when building your deck, you kind of really want to heavily consider what your uniques are, as well as what your 15 rares are. And now I'm just kind of like looking for Amelia Earhart, Warboros, Croupier, ooh, Tanuki, Paper Herald, Tiny Jin, and then Bountiful Meadow. Really pretty art on that one. Rare foiler. We should probably have 1 more unique. I've gotten a foil unique in every box so far, but it's only a 2-box sample size, so maybe those 2 boxes were just cracked. Don't actually know how common the unique foils are of, you know, when they're already foil. Hey, we have a foiler though, and like 5 rares on a foiler. That's pretty good. That's 3, dude. That's 3 in this box. So once again, don't know exactly how rare they are. In the Kickstarter edition, I've gotten 3 or 2 per box. I've heard from my buddy Dan that it's like 1 to 3. And for the retail release, I don't know. I know Kickstarter's stuff is a little juiced up, so I don't know the exact stuff. Haven, Bravo, Sebastian, faction shifted, 3 little pigs, Navigator, Attorney. Nice. 2 more packs for this first box, and then we'll go into the next box. Yeah. Also, shout out to Dan from Main Deck. He's first of all, he's a really nice dude, and he does absolutely fantastic content on this game and a lot of other games. Hooked, Kakoba. I was gonna say Kadoba. Quetzalcoatl. Ooh, we have another unique. So yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Dan. I've been asking a lot of questions about this game because he's one of the people who are very much involved in it on the content side. We have Foundry Engineer, 3/1. It's a unique 1/1/1. So let's see what its effect is. So when you play it from your hand, The next permanent you play this afternoon costs 2 less. Oh, okay. And then when you play from hand, if you control a token, create a token in each of your expeditions? What? This card seems nuts. Holy crap, hold on. Hold on. The fact that it is this faction too, because, okay, so there's this dude, right? And it says, at noon, you create an Ordis Recruit 1/1/1 soldier token in your hero expedition. So every single turn at the start of your turn, basically, at noon, you get the token, right? And so this is that faction. So you can play this in this deck, so you are guaranteed to have a token. And then when you play this, you get 2 more tokens. You get one in both of your expedition zones. And then this turbos out another thing. This seems really good. I think that's one of the first uniques that I've opened that I'm like, okay, this seems kind of like a banger. Like, not gonna lie, kind of like a banger. Yeah. Yeah, it seems good. Seems real good. Ooh, this is one of the arts that I really like. Bravos Blade Dancer, really cool. Really cool artwork. We have Parvati, Open the Gates, and then Ordos Recruit. Yeah, it creates one of these. Like, the dude creates one of these, and then this will create 2 more. All right, so we did not get a unique foil card, but we got 3 unique foilers, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, let's go ahead and open up our second box, and we'll go a lot quicker. This will be more of a speed that we literally just did. So we'll just go straight to the rares. But I honestly think opening at least the Kickstarter version is a lot of fun. I have opened up some card games that were not fun because either you just get they're just boring experience, you don't get very many rares, it's just not exciting. This one's pretty exciting to open. Like, getting the uniques is always super, super fun. You have the chance at I think it's called a gold pack, where every single card is a unique. I have not opened up a gold pack. We'll see if we get it here. This is my last Kickstarter box. Yeah, dude, Sigismar and Wingspan. I only think of Sigmar because I've been really into Warhammer recently. But yeah, anyway, got the Mana Reaping, Scald, Muna Caregiver. And I also want to point out we did get 6 uniques here, which really feels like, at least for the Kickstarter boxes, 6 uniques feels like where it's at. I got a Rin and Orchid, really like that one. Hooked. Oh yeah, I was like shouting out Dan, but then another faction shift to Anubis. I really like that. I actually really like that. I was shouting out Dan and then totally forgot because we got this sick unique. Go subscribe to Main Deck, right? If you're still watching at this point, go subscribe to Main Deck. Absolutely fantastic TCG channel. I consider the folks over at Main Deck to be kindred spirits because they're like me. They are non-discriminatory towards TCGs, and what I mean by that is, like, hey, Dan plays a lot of TCGs. He covers. He has a podcast for 3 different TCGs over on his channel: Altered, Star Wars Unlimited, and Grand Archive, which is one of my personal favorites. Yeah, he does good stuff. Dan and I have also been talking about some stuff. So you maybe it's not faction shifted. So this is the regular version of the Foundry Engineer. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And it says the next permanent you play this afternoon costs 2 less. And this is only if you play it from your it's only if you play it from your reserve. But like this one playing from your hand, making another thing cost 2 less, and the unique version seems real good. Seems really good. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, dear Altered fans, if that card is as much of a banger as I kind of think it is. At least it feels like it. Got a Me cylinder. Got a Me cylinder. Ortis Spy. Very cool. Yeah. I also want to mention, like, I mentioned this at the start, but I really do think the card quality is really good. I've handled a good number of Kickstarter TCGs, and a lot of the times the card quality is not good. It feels either cheap or flimsy, or the inking is bad. The best one I've encountered so far is Grand Archive, and they just have absolutely fantastic quality. And I want to say that I think the quality on these cards is also very nice. It's not textured or anything like that, but just the you know, the card quality itself, like as cards, like, here, we'll do the thing that I mentioned before, is just really, really nice. Like, it just feels really good. They're really smooth, but they're not slick. They feel sturdy. They feel good. I feel like it's cut well. There's no like harsh edges. I mean, honestly, this is better card quality than most AAA games. Yeah, I don't think they get their stuff printed through Cardamundi. I think it's better than Cardamundi cardstock. Lyra Scald. So, cardstock, very nice. I handle many cards on a daily basis. Card games are my life, as I like to say. And so, I think that's a really big thing. Foundry Armorer, Robin Hood, Ortis Cadets. Ooh, okay, here we have another unique. This is a Muna Caregiver. 1/2 cost, 1/1/1. So it's a pretty low drop. When you play it from your reserve, if you control 2 or more plants other than me, well, she's not a plant, characters you control gain 1 boost, and then she has resupply. Oh, okay, and then also, when she's in your reserve, up to 1 target character with hand cost 3 or less other than me gains anchored. Oh, interesting. This also seems really good. She's a 1-drop, and she kind of goes well with that other plant card that we got earlier. I don't know. It seems good. Where's another plant card? I don't. Oh, this dude. Okay, plant dude. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe make a plant deck or something. Yeah. In any case, we venture forth. Ortis Spy, cool art on that one. Orbos Trickster. Yeah. So we have many more packs to get through. This video is already going to be like close to an hour long, which did not want it to be that long for a simple unboxing video, but I felt like I really needed to talk about all of the things that are going into this because it's such a new and unique game, and I think it's definitely worth paying attention to. I think it's the big takeaway from this is even if you're not into it right now, you're not going to play it right now. The game is officially launching very soon, and I'll be covering that as well. I'm going to be opening up some of the non-Kickstarter product as well, so you can see that, and I'll be doing a starter deck opening and review as well, so you can kind of get an idea of if the starter decks are worth it and everything that kind of goes into that, what they come with. But I think the game is unique enough and does enough different stuff in the industry that if you care about TCGs at all, I think you should be paying attention to this game. I think that's the biggest takeaway I can give. If you care about TCGs, if you care about the industry, you should pay attention to Altered. Even if you don't play it, because this game is doing some crazy stuff, and it's one of the first of its kind on the market. So it's a Me Burst, Kellon Burst. Ooh, rare foil. So yeah, and I noticed that my battery is getting close to dying, so we're gonna have to probably swap out. I was like trying to get to this before the battery died, but alas. Ooh, got an Alice. Got an Alice, got a Dorothy. I actually really like Dorothy. Oh, she's a faction shifted Dorothy. Oh, interesting. Oh, but only when you play from hand. Oh, so it's the same as like the common version. Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna swap the battery real quick. And we are back. I also realized I pushed these up so we could see the difference between the 2 boxes, and I just didn't do that. So anyway, I think I've kind of said a lot of my spiel and my initial impressions of this without playing a ton. Mana Druid. The same Mana Druid. Now you can see like the faction shifted. Monolith Archivist, and then a Spindle Harvester is rare. So in terms of hits, what can we get that's like spicy other than getting like a banger unique? Well, like I said, there are those gold packs. The gold packs are pretty rare. They come with just all uniques. Would love to get that in this final box. But here's another like double one here. Got two Quetzalcoatls. But we could also pull another promo, and so the promos are like full art versions of the heroes, and I think they're, like I said, 1 in every 100 packs or so. So it's like 1 in every 3-ish boxes. I have 4 boxes to open. I already opened 1. But we still have a chance to open up another one. We still have a chance to open up another one. So we have hope. We have like half a box left. Half a box left and some hope. And I think this game in particular also helps mark, like, I've coined this term before, but like the TCG Renaissance, and I think this game is one of the, Achilles. Okay, this is one of the byproducts of the TCG Renaissance. Okay, we got Achilles. He's a 3-hand 5 reserve, 3/3/5. He has tough 1, which I think it's like ward from magic. Your opponent has to pay an additional 1 to target him. And then if you play him from reserve, if you control 2 or more landmarks, up to 2 target characters each gain 2 boosts. Up to 2 target characters each gain 2 boosts. You boost 4 if you control 2 landmarks. If you play him for 5, then you get another +2 and +2 on 2 things. It doesn't say 2 other characters. You can boost him. He can boost himself. That one seems pretty good too. Yeah, that one seems pretty good. Maybe I'd make like a baller like Bravos deck. Oh, we got there! Oh, we got there! Let's go! Let's go! I think this is we got the gold pack. We got the gold pack because clearly there is no foil guy. Okay, so we got a gold pack. We're gonna go over all of these. Oh, let's go, dude! And then it comes with 4 unique foilers. All right. So we have Kaibara, Asgarthian Leviathan, 9 cost, 8 cost, 7/7/7. He has Gigantic, which means it's in all zones at all times. I have Tough 1. When I go to reserve from the Expedition Zone, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone. Oh, so he kind of like ramps you, even though you already have playing for like 9. And then you can do this from your reserve. Up to 1 target character gains fleeting. Also, you can give your opponent's character fleeting. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we got that. We have Haven Bouncer, 3 cost, 3 cost, 2/2/3. If you play it from reserve, you get 2 boosts. So she'd be a 3 cost, 4/4/5. And then at dusk, you can put a card from your hand in your reserve if you do Sabotage. Sabotage makes it so you get rid of cards in your opponent's reserve. Okay, that seems pretty strong. Oh, we got my boy! We got Flamel, let's go! Because I spoiled him. All right, so he's a 4 cost, 3 cost, 4/3/4. When I go to reserve from your Expedition Zone, you may return a spell from your reserve to your hand. When you play a spell, if you have 1 or more boosts, or if I have 1 or more boosts, gain 1 boost. Interesting. So if you can put a boost on this, then every time you play a spell, he also gets another boost. Interesting. Okay. All right. We'll take that. Ooh, Lady of the Lake. 3/3, 1/1/4. You can play a card from your hand, or you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 2 boosts. And that's on both hand and reserve. And then also you can get rid of it from your reserve. The next character you play this turn loses fleeting. Okay. Okay. Baku, I was talking about how awesome I think Baku is. Okay, 4 cost, 3/1/3. When you play from hand, you can discard a card from your reserve. If you do, the next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less. Okay, interesting. Okay. And then at dusk, target opponent discards a card from their hand. Okay, interesting. At dusk, they discard a card from their hand. So if you can keep this around, you can make them, like, if you can give this, like, what is it called? Anchor or whatever. You can make him discard multiple cards. It seems interesting. I think it's faction shifted too. We have Ouroboros Croupier, 4 cost, 5 cost, 0/4/5, and a bunch of text. If you would roll a dice, you may add 1 to its result. Choose after you see the result. Okay, that sounds kind of nuts. And then whenever you play this from hand or reserve, if you have 3 or more base statistics of 0 among characters you control, you roll a dice. Target character gains X boost, where X is the result. Okay, sure. Sure. We have Mowgli, 2 cost, 1 cost, 3/0/1. And then if you play from hand, you can pay 1. If you do, I gain a boost. Okay, that seems just kind of like a big dude, right? So you can pay 3, and it's a 4/1/2. I'm not sure if that one's worth it. We have Inari. I think it's a faction shifted. 3 cost, 2 cost, 4/2/1. And it says, when you play from hand, you can sacrifice a character or permanent. If you do, you can activate the activation triggers of target permanent you control. Oh, interesting. Okay, I like that. I like that. And then you can yeet it from your reserve, and then you may activate the triggers of another permanent you control. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I like the Inari. We have the Hatter. 3 cost, 5 cost, 053. When I leave the expedition zone, draw a card. Okay, I like that. I like that. And then you can yeet it from your reserve. Up to one target character with hand cost 3 or less, other than me, gains anchored. Okay, yeah. All right. And then we have this foil, Sneezer Shroom. I think all the foils are alternate arts, Kickstarter versions. So this one is a 2-drop, 1-drop, 2/1/1. And then when you play from hand, you can discard a card from your reserve. If you do, I gain anchored. Okay. Okay. And then you can yeet this from your reserve. You may return a spell from your reserve to your hand. Oh, it's faction shifted to Izmir. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. And then we have the 4 unique foilers. Yo, let's go. So that's what? How many do we actually get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we just get a full 9. Just get a full 9 banger. We're probably still gonna get maybe 3 more in this box. Oh my god. Oh, we got there. I'm so glad I opened up this one on camera. I have a bad habit of, like, I just open up boxes off camera because I want to open this stuff for myself. I really like red, by the way. Obviously, Red Zone Rogue likes the red rogue lady. But I have a bad habit of opening stuff off screen and like hitting really big and getting really nice pulls. And I'm just like, oh, well, I wish I opened up that box on camera. And it leads me to a situation where I'm like, I want to open up most of my boxes on camera, but I mean, come on, I got my Kickstarter and I was like, I want to, open this up and kind of see what it's like. Bountiful Meadow, common foiler. Yo, those common foilers are going to be pretty clutch because you can only run 18 cards of your 39 card deck that aren't common. Every other card has to be common. So, because you're going to have 15 rares, 3 uniques, you have to run a bunch of commons. So getting the common foilers, Baba Yaga, getting the common foilers is actually kind of good. In fact, I might, from that, getting those 4 unique foilers, I'm going to have so many unique foilers, man. When the marketplace opens, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll sell some of the unique foilers. We have Hata, Ganesha, Ortis Attorney, or maybe I just foil out all of my decks. Yeah, this is wild. I'm so stoked. These Kickstarter boxes are sick. I opened off screen. I opened one of the promo cards, and then in this, I opened up one of the, I don't know, I might like just the regular Baku instead of the common foiler. Because it just says target upon discard the card from their hand when you play them on both times. I don't know, I might like the common, I might like that version of Baku instead. Yeah, I don't know. Sigismund, I guess I could technically play both if I wanted to. We have Axiom Scrambler, the Kraken, big old Kraken. Magical Training, this card's great. I think it's great. It's a 1 cost and then a 2 cost and it just draws you a card. So it's a spell, it'll trigger all those things that care about playing spells, it replaces itself, it only is a 1-drop. This is a game, by the way, I didn't mention this, but when you start the game, you start with 3 resources in play. So you basically start at 3 mana, so anything like 3 or less, you can play turn 1, which is also interesting. Mana Eruption, Sunny Drossel, Scald, Carrier, Stargazer. Our rare pile is almost as big as the common pile off to the side. Yeah. And like I said, all these cards will have already been scanned by the time I upload this video. But maybe we'll do something, if you're watching now, maybe we'll do something in the future where we open up some and I just let people scan whatever they want. Maybe we do something like that. Or maybe it's like everything except for the uniques are scanned kind of deal. I don't know. That's something interesting we can do with this. Aja. It's something that, another unique foiler, bro. We have so many. I mean, even without the 4, did we open up 3 and 3? Oh, we have so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've opened up 8 unique foilers. Well, that's almost enough to foil out all of the... It is enough to foil out all of the uniques you pulled from the gold pack. Because one of them was already foiled. Haha. Helping Hand. I do like that card. I do like the Helping Hand. Kitsune. Muna Caregiver. Amelia Earhart. Hey, look, here's Amelia Earhart. She gains 1 boost if you play from hand. The one that we had is so much better. Hold on. So the one that we played, same cost, better stats, just straight up better stats, except if you play from hand, she gets the boost. So, well, even then, this one's still better, except for the water, I suppose. This one says you can sacrifice a character if you do, up to 1 target character gains a sleep. Yeah, this one's sick. And also, like I said, look at the art. Ah, interesting. Oh, we got a unique in this pack. Let's go. We got Muna Merchant. That's a common. 2 cost, 3 cost, 3, 1, 2. If you play it from your reserve, you can discard target permanent. You may discard target permanent. When you play a permanent with hand cost 3 or more, you may sacrifice a permanent if you do resupply. I'm not sure how to evaluate that one. Seems good, maybe? It's not as immediately good as like the Foundry card that we pulled that just barfs out a bunch of tokens. That one seems good. Sticky Note Seals. I got a Coman, Alchemist. Yo, another one! Let's go! Another unique. Kitsune, look how cute she is. Okay, so 2 cost, 1 cost, 1, 0, 2. And then when you play her, anytime you play her, each player may resupply. And then also if you play from hand, if you control 3 or more characters, plants you control other than me gain 1 boost. Yo, I got the plant deck here. Everything wants to boost my plants. And it says I can eat her. The next character you play this turn gains 1 boost. Ooh, this seems good. She seems really good. Is this good? I think this is good. I think that's good. Maybe I make a Muna plant deck. Muna plant deck. I can make my Ordos token deck. Yeah, I don't know. Seems pretty good. We have Mana Channeling, Disciple, Grand Endeavor, Jeanne d'Arc. She seems pretty good. I did kind of want to get like a unique Jeanne d'Arc or a unique Athena, but I'm real happy getting the gold pack. Ratatosker. We have another Amelia Earhart. We got Mighty Jin, Ortis Trooper, and another Brass Bug. I think we're down to the last few packs here. If you've watched this far, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Yeah, like this has been real fun. Like I said, this game is very fun to open. Ooh, why is that one was kind of stuck together? Oh, interesting. It's got like a little it's got a little sticky thing. Oh, look, here's Athena. This is the rare version of Athena. I would have liked a unique Athena, but that's fine. That's fine. The uniques, as we've seen, I don't think they're always better than the rares. I think they can be insane, but sometimes they have, very unique effects. Yeah. We have Kellon Cylinder, Coppelia, that's a faction shifted, and then Hua Mulan, which is also a faction shifted. Common foiler. 2 more packs. And like I said, these are my only Kickstarter boxes that I got. So I just got the 4. But it is not the only Altered that I will be opening here on the channel. I may or may not have been in talks with the folks over at Equinox. And we may or may not be doing something more. Another unique foiler, let's go! Oh, dude, that's... Okay, sure. Look at all these. I'm just swimming in them. Just swimming in them. Alright, that's the final pack here. Let's open this up. See if we get a promo. Maybe this booster box has a gold pack and a promo. Maybe we have it all. We have Hooked, Shenlong. All right, let's get to the good stuff here. We have Bravos Vanguard, beautiful artwork. We have Kaibara. We have Athena, different Athena. And then we just saw, and then Atlas. So we do have one more unique and a common foiler. So our final unique of this opening is a 5/4 Atlas with 2/2/2. He has Gigantic, which means he's in both zones. And when you play him, if you control 2 or more landmarks, characters you control gain 1 boost. That seems really good. And you can yeet him from your reserve and get a 1/1/1 token. All right, well, that's a lot of uniques. We got a lot of uniques for this opening. Could not be happier that we actually opened up the gold pack, especially that we opened it on camera. Look at all these uniques. But once again, what's super cool is you can only have 3 in your deck. So you gotta like really plan out what your uniques are gonna be. So I would just run all of these plant ones that we got. No, that's not the plant one. No, this guy's the plant one. Yeah. So we run these 3 plant ones in our like plant deck. And this one's like, if you control 2 or more plants other than me, characters you control gain 1 boost and you resupply. And she's just a really low drop. And then we run this dude who's like, you can pay 1. If you do, plants you control other than me gain a boost. And then he also gains a boost. And then you play Kitsune, who's like, each player resupplies. And then if you control 3 or more characters, plants you control other than me gain a boost. So you just boost your plants to be massive. We're gonna make a plant deck. We're gonna make the plant deck. And then of course we have the bazillion unique foilers. And as mentioned, the foil heroes are cool, but you end up with all of them. Like in a single booster box, I think I ended up with almost 2 of every single one, and in 2 booster boxes, more than enough. So yeah, gonna be able to build some decks with maybe with the pretty lady Athena here, but definitely with some of these sweet uniques. That's Altered. I kind of given my spiel on the game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think it's really fascinating, and once again, I will reiterate, if you care about the TCG industry, even if you don't care about this game, I think it's worth paying attention to. You should be paying attention to this game, just in terms of what it does with the marketplace and the future of our industry. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for some more excellent content coming down the pipelines. We got lots of stuff, and we'll see you next time.